Okay, so now we're traveling to Africa to learn more about the Somali startup ecosystem. We'll be hearing from Utsav Karel, who is the lab lead for Somalia Response Innovation Lab. While we're promoting Utsav, let's hear more about the Somali startup ecosystem. So Somalia this year has 2 ranked cities, which is Mogadishu and Hargeisa. Mogadishu is ranked 9th in Eastern Africa and also 8th in business score in Eastern Africa. Overperforming industries for the city are energy and environment and also software and data. Hi, Utsav. How are you?
Hi, Catherine. I'm doing well. Thank you. How are you?
Good. Yes. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, absolute pleasure. Good to meet you after a while.
Yes, it's been a while. And we're excited to hear about the developments in the Somali startup ecosystem. Utsav, we can't see you at the moment. We can just see your screen.
Actually, there's some bandwidth issues, so I'm just saving. So I hope it is okay if I just present my slides.
No problem. We understand. The floor is yours.
Okay. Thank you so much to yourself as well as the Startup Blink team. So it has been an absolute pleasure collaborating with you and learning from this whole process. So just to talk about, so I'm Utsav Karel. I have the privilege of collaborating with the Somali Response Innovation Lab and Nepal Innovation Lab, which are both hosted by World Vision International. So in terms of a bit of background for those of you who do not know much about the Response Innovation Lab. So the whole idea about establishing the humanitarian lab and trying to respond during the time of crisis dates back to 2015 when there was a massive earthquake in Nepal. So the whole idea was World Vision wanted to explore how we can think beyond the humanitarian mindsets and we can promote the innovative culture during those crises. So based on the learning from Nepal, some of the key players in the space of the humanitarian world, like World Vision, Save the Children, Civic, which is a UK-based NGO, Oxfam, as well as the George Washington University, came together and founded this global collaboration. So it should be noted that WIL is not a legal entity, but these labs are hosted by one of the founding members of the partners within the network. For example, the lab in Somalia is hosted by World Vision Somalia, whereas the lab in Gaza or the Iraq is hosted by Oxfam. So in Somalia, we strategically sit under this consortium called Somali Resilience Program, which is a consortium of 8 INGOs, which includes, of course, World Vision, Oxfam, and the local NGO called Sakadun as well. So talking about Somalia, back in 2017, when we first entered the scene, the local startup landscape was in a very infancy stage. The country had just been connected with the fiber optic internet, and the economy is still largely dominated by the informal sectors. So if you look into the World Bank Ease of Doing Business ranking, it's ranked at 190th out of 190. And in terms of global startup ranking, Somalia was not ranked, but there were like so many promising things. We could see back in 2017 itself that there was a lot of promising investment coming from the Somali diaspora, as well as some of the critical skills and human capital capacity was getting back to Somali context. So talking about our approach, we have 4 pillars like the convene, matchmakers, support, and evidence, but these are also underpinned by the principles of design thinking: empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. So talking about the convene model itself, so it is all about bringing different actors in the ecosystem together. It does not necessarily have to be the humanitarian actors, but also non-traditional actors like the local innovators, and starting the conversation and trying to understand the problem from different lens. So it is all about leveraging the existing clusters and networks, because we absolutely understand that the innovation does not happen in silos, so all the actors needs to come together and try to understand the problem. And then this is basically the empathize and define part of the design thinking. Moving on to the next pillar, which is the matchmaking pillar. This is where we bring the problem owners and the solution providers together so that we can help in terms of brokering the solutions from the problem owners, between the problem owners and the solution providers. So this is basically a part of defining an idea of the design thinking process. And then there's a whole support system we have as one of the critical pillar, where we try to support in co-creating solutions between the problem owner and the solution provider. This is of course, more into the ideation, prototyping, and testing aspects of the design thinking. And there's also the evidence bit, where we help in terms of generating the evidence, sharing the evidence by creating different kind of video case study, providing different kind of tools, toolkits related to M&E and testing, some of the pilots and scaling purpose as well. So this is basically our approach. I'm talking about the mapping tools. Over the period of a few years, we have been able to start mapping the local ecosystems, local innovators, different actors, like deriving the information, their contact information, and so on and so forth. So this is a public directory we created from the research part. And the second part is we have started to create a relationship between different actors in this ecosystem. And we also do more around the manufacturing mapping as well. So mapping the local manufacturers and trying to support the local procurement process. And based on some of this experience and the data, we have been collaborating with Startup Link to provide these valuable data so that the promising ecosystem from Somalia is also showcased in the global platform. So in 2022, we are ranked 98th. Talking about the country which has got a different understanding, especially a lot of fragility, a lot of instability is something we think around, but there are like so many promising innovation happening in Somalia. So if we really look into this ecosystem, it has got a lot of potential in terms of the software and data innovations aspects, also in the renewable energy sector. And there has been a lot of promising development in the area of software as a service solutions in the country. So there has been a lot and lot of public investment opportunities in Somalia. Some of the enabling communities are here, like iRise, Harhub, based in Hargeisa, and Mogadishu Tech Summit. And these kind of platforms are providing a really, really good arena for the local innovators to promote their innovation. So in terms of when you talk about the capital city, Mogadishu, one of the major events that happens every year is the Mogadishu Tech Summit, where the promising innovator, local innovators, investors, as well as different actors come together and then try to come together to find the sustainable solution, promote those solutions in Somalia. Also, there are like other events happening, like Global Goals Jam, where the whole notion of UN SDGs are also promoted. Of course, there are like Somali STEM Society and so on and so forth. So in 2022, like when we were looking into the data, then at least 36 new startups were funded in this year. And some of the really important categories where these startup comes are for like e-commerce, which is really, really booming, considering a lot of things happening in the space of smartphones and mobile communication. Digital marketing is also gaining a lot of tractions. Pharmacies, logistics, and online learning. Although the figure looks not that great if you compare to the other ecosystem, but considering this situation, the overall funding for these 36 startups were $139,000. So I'm stopping here. I'm sorry, I just ran over the time. But if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Our email address is info@responseinnovationlab.com. And thanks so much for this opportunity. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Atsav. Thank you for sharing with us the wonderful Somali startup ecosystem. And it's great, to know more about an ecosystem that a lot of people don't really think about first when they think about like startups or startup ecosystem development. And the work that Responsive Innovation Lab is really great. And we hope to work together more in making sure that we're still developing the startup ecosystem in the years to come.
Thanks so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.